Hi, everybody. This is Tommy Lasorda. Listen to The Sandlot, the best thing that could happen to you.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
Are you crying?
It's a part of our past, Ray.
There's no crying.
It reminds us of all that once was good.
There's no crying in baseball.
Just a bit outside.
Baseball will be very, very good to me.
It's a simple game. You throw the ball, you hit the ball, you catch the ball.
Personally, I think we got hosed on that.
The Sandlot Radio Network is on the air. And now, starting pitcher for the Sandlots, former pro player and Major League scout, Ted Karros.
This is National League All-Star Justin Upton.
Hi, this is Shane Victorino.
Hi, this is Albert Pujols.
Hi, this is David Wright.
It's Derek Jeter, New York Yankees, and you're listening to The Sandlot.
Welcome to The Sandlot. It's where everybody plays. It's a place of our own. It's our field. It's our neighborhood. It's our team. It's our home. The Sandlot is presented by the Kinetic Arm, protecting youth athletes one arm at a time. The Sandlot is also sponsored by Slide MVP, Tool Shed, Champ Trove, Max Graphics LA, South Bay Credit Union, Fairway Underwriters, Insight Performance Group, and Pro Slide. The Sandlot can be heard live right here on Fox Sports 1590 KVTA, also streamed live on kvta.com. Replays of all Sandlot radio shows are published on the major podcast platforms such as SiriusXM, MLB Network Radio, Spotify, SoundCloud, Simplecast, Apple Music, Pandora, and YouTube. Also check out Sandlot Radio Show on Instagram and Sandlot Radio Network on Facebook for video content with the major league players. Please explore SandlotRadioNetwork.com for historical reels and images, along with links to our outstanding partners. Last week on The Sandlot, we had a world-famous Sandlot kid. You know him from Dirty Jobs and his podcast, The Way I Heard It. We had Mike Rowe. We also had the son of the Hit King, the son of Charlie Hustle. He's the Hit Prince, a baseball lifer. We had Pete Rose Jr. We also featured a man that threw a perfect game in the major leagues on Mother's Day. For the team he grew up loving, he's now the color commentator on TV for the Oakland Athletics. A man whose childhood dreams really did come true. We had Dallas Braden. We also had Angels All-Star shortstop, the highest draft pick to ever come out of the Big South Conference, Campbell University's Zach Neto. This week's Sandlot features Who's Hot and Who's Not in MLB with our Sandlot Radio Network resident baseball fanatic and producer, Nick Wright. Plus, we have two back-to-back world champions from the Dodgers. Both were heroic and a big part of why the Dodgers won their second World Series in a row. Both of them are still with the team with the chance to win a third. We have the beloved Miggy, Migeul Rojas, and left-handed game saver Alex Vesia, as they both tell us about their childhood Sandlot stories. We also caught up with Angels 5-tool player All-Star Joe Adell, and we have the son of Dodger great Eric Karros, now the third baseman for the Colorado Rockies. We have Kyle Karros. We're going to start you off with Who's Hot and Who's Not. Nick, in the American League East, your Rays are still hanging in there a half a game in front of the Yankees, but man, they're 2-8 in their last 10, and the Yankees are 7-3 in their last 10. 37-25, 12 games above 500. The Orioles have played well in their last 10 at 7-3, but they're 30-33, trying to claw their way back to 500. And then you got the Blue Jays have just been struggling all year. They're 4-6 in their last 10, and 12-20 on the road. They got to just play better on the road. And the Red Sox at the bottom of the American League East. In Australia, they call that the wooden spoon. They're 11 games back, 26-35, and 4-6 in their last 10.
Yeah, Tad, my Rays have come back down to earth a little bit. It was due. Drew Rasmussen, his last game just got absolutely shelled by the lowly Angels. They hit a grand slam off them, one of his worst starts in his career. Also, Nick Martinez, who's been lights out for the Rays as well, he got roughed up by the Tigers. So it's one of those things. If baseball fluctuates, I knew the Rays would get into some kind of slump. It's inevitable.
Over in the American League Central, the Guardians are 5-5 in their last 10, but they're 36-28 and 2 in front of the White Sox, who are 7-3 in their last 10 and playing better than 500 baseball. The White Sox are 33-29 and 2 games out of first place. The Twins, 29-34, 3-7 in their last 10. So they're trying to get to 500. And the Tigers, 25-38, 5-5 in their last 10. Bad news from the Tigers with their best left-handed pitcher. Looks like he might be in the trade blocks. And then over in the American League, we've got some bad news maybe on Aaron Judge.
Yeah, Tad, there was a scare that Aaron Judge might have had thoracic outlet syndrome, which basically is, a lot of pitchers get it because it restricts blood flow to your chest and I believe the left side of your body. I could be wrong. But that kind of recovery would have taken 9 to 10 months, but it's being reported now that he's just been diagnosed with a stress fracture on his rib. He'll be re-imaged in approximately 4 to 6 weeks. Yankees fans can take a breath.
American League West, you got the Mariners who've been tearing it up, 8-2 in their last 10. They had played so bad, but they're turning it around, and they're 33-30, 2 in front of the Athletics, who are 30-31 and 4-6 in their last 10. So the Athletics had a chance, but they've not played very well in their last 10 games. And then the Rangers, 30-32, 6-4 in the last 10, as the Astros, same, but they're 28-35, 5 games back, and they're trying to get to 500. And then the Angels, of course, 15 under 500, 9 games back already, 5-5 in their last 10. So that's what the American League looks like right now. And then when we go over to the National League, starting with the National League East, man, the Braves, 6-4 in their last 10, but 42-20. They're 22 games over 500 and 9 in front of the Phillies, who are playing above 500 baseball at 33-29 and 7-3 in their last 10. They're hanging in there, but they're 9 back.
Yeah, Tad, I just got to add that Ronald Acuna Jr. has been on an absolute tear. His last 7 games, he's hitting .333, 5 home runs with 9 ribbies. Just absolutely crazy.
Nationals barely below 500, 31-32, 5-5 in their last 10, 11.5 back. And the Marlins, 29-34 and 5-5 in their last 10. And the Mets, oh my goodness, 27-35, 5-5 in their last 10. But man, for the payroll that they have, they cannot be 9 games under 500.
Yeah, I mean, Juan Soto's starting to heat up a little bit. He's hitting over 300 over his last 15 games. He has 9 home runs over his last 15 games, 21 ribbies. Francisco Lindor as well, 360 over his last 7, 2 home runs. But still, for that payroll, just not even close. But there is a lot of baseball left.
Then over in the National League Central, the Cubbies fell apart. At one point, they were ahead. The last time we did this, hot and not, they were in first place. Now they're 6 games back in fourth place because the Brewers are 7-3 in their last 10 and 37-23 overall. The Brewers are 5 games in front of the Cardinals, who are 32-28 and 3-7 in their last 10. And it's good to see the Pirates above 500, 33-29. They got great pitching, 7-3 in their last 10. They've climbed in front of the Cubs. Cubs are 6 back, 32-30, barely hanging in above 500, 3-7 in their last 10, 6 games back. The Reds, 31-30, so 5-5 in their last 10. Every team in that division is playing better than 500 baseball.
That 10-game skid for the Chicago Cubs was their longest since 2022. Prior to that June 5th victory, they had lost 8 consecutive games at Wrigley Field. They did just snap that 8-game losing streak by a 7-6 walk-off win against the A's.
And then over to the coveted National League West. And the Dodgers are playing good Dodger-type baseball. 8-2 in their last 10. And the good thing to see is they're 20-11 at home, but also 20-11 away. 40-22 overall. 7.5 in front of the second place Diamondbacks, who are 32-29 and 5-5 in their last 10. The Padres have been tanking. 1-9 in their last 10. 32-29 overall, below 500 and 7.5 back from the Dodgers. Giants, 3-7 in the last 10. It's been like that all year. 25-38 overall. Heads are going to roll over there in San Francisco pretty soon if something doesn't change quickly. Rockies, 4-6 in their last 10 and 24-39. 16.5 back in the National League West. Nick, those are the teams, where they're at, who's hot, who's not. Let's talk about the players.
Well, Ted, just like last week, how can I not start off with Shohei Ohtani, who once again had a dominant performance on the mound and even on the plate too, which I know was one of your criticisms. He went 6 scoreless innings and reached base safely 5 times as the Dodgers beat the Arizona Diamondbacks 7-0. Tad, and Shohei Ohtani lowers his ERA to .74, and his batting average is up to 300. Unreal. Other guys who've been hot, Jung-Hoo Lee of the Giants, he's hitting .655 over his last 7 games, .450 over his last 15. Bryce Eldridge, also of the Giants, hitting .522 over his last 7. Nick Gonzalez of the Pittsburgh Pirates hitting .423 over his last 7 games, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 11 hits. Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros still looking strong. He's hitting .346 with 9 hits, 1 home run, and 5 RBIs. Pete Crow Armstrong, your guy from Chicago, despite having a couple hiccups in the outfield, he's still hitting .387 over his last 7 games with 3 home runs and 6 RBIs. Also from the Pirates, O'Neal Cruz hitting .364 with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs. Nathan Lukes from Toronto hitting .440 over his last 7 games, .472 over his last 15 with 36 hits. Michael Massey from the Kansas City Royals hitting .440 over his last 7 with 11 hits, 3 home runs, and 7 RBIs. And also from the Astros, Jeremy Pena heating up .462 over his last 7 games. And I already got to talk about pitching because Christopher Sanchez of the Phillies over his last several games has been absolutely dominant. He's only given up 1 earned run over his last 3 innings. He went 8 innings pitched against Cleveland and 7 innings pitched against the Padres, respectively. I mean, he has just absolutely been on fire for Philly. And also Jacob Mizorowski of the Brewers has also just been dominant. Tad, he just throws over 100 like it's nothing for 20 consecutive pitches. It's just absolutely unbelievable. He's also only given up 1 earned run over his last 3 games. Mizorowski threw 10 pitches in the first inning a couple weeks ago. 10 in a row. They were over 102 miles per hour. Most of them were 103 miles per hour. Absolutely ridiculous. Kyle Harrison, also of the Milwaukee Brewers, has been unbelievable. His last 3 games, only 1 earned run. He has a .157 ERA on the year. He's 7-1. The Brewers, between him and Mizorowski, just look amazing. And got to bring up Yoshinobu Yamamoto from the Dodgers. He's only given up 2 runs over his last 3 games. He went 5 innings and no earned runs against Philly just a few nights ago. And also, and Cam Schlittler of the Yankees, even though his last game against Cleveland got roughed up a little bit for 4 earned runs, but still his ERA in the season is at 1.89. It's had some of the guys who are not so hot right now. Manny Machado still in a real bad slump. He's only hitting 170 over his last 7 games. Eugenio Suarez, who went over to the Cincinnati Reds, he's been slumping. He's only hitting 83 over his last 7 games, 135 over his last 15. And also Ketel Marte of the Arizona Diamondbacks only hitting 143 over his last 7. Just a few guys who are not hot. Tad, it's been a wild week. A lot of guys in slumps. A lot of guys heating up, pitching, and hitting. And we're barely even a little over a quarter into the season. I cannot wait to see what else the season brings us. That's been Who's Hot and Who's Not. Let's get to Migeul Rojas.
Thank you, Nick. Stick around. Our next guest hit a pivotal home run in Game 7 of the 2025 World Series. He did it for the Dodgers, something that every kid dreams of. We have Migeul Rojas. We are Fox Sports 1590 KVTA. I'm your host, Tad Powers. The Sandlot. It's where everybody plays. The Sandlot is presented by the Kinetic Arm, trusted to protect young athletes 1 arm at a time. For more information, go to SandlotRadioNetwork.com website and click on our title partner, Kinetic Arm, and start protecting your kid today.
The king of crack, the colossus of clout, the colossus of clout, Babe Ruth, the great Bambino.
This is Dallas Braden, former player, current broadcaster, always a baseball lover, and you are listening to The Sandlot with my man, Tad.
This is Clint Barmas, and I'm still listening to The Sandlot.
This is former Major League pitcher Dave Dravecki, and you are listening to The Sandlot.
This is Doug Brokel of the Houston Astros, and you're listening to The Sandlot.
Dusty Baker, manager of the Cincinnati Reds, and you're listening to The Sandlot.
This is Joe Mauer of the Minnesota Twins, and you're listening to The Sandlot.
Imagine this. Your kid throws out their arm. 1 bad pitch and suddenly it's surgery, months of pain, and watching from the sidelines. There's an epidemic of arm injuries in youth athletes, but it doesn't have to be that way. The Kinetic Arm is the first dynamic arm stabilizer, supporting the shoulder and elbow when they need it most. Trusted by thousands of athletes. Go to SandlotRadioNetwork.com, click Partners, Kinetic Arm, and protect your kid's arm today.
Champ Trove, where every championship becomes a treasure worth keeping. As a leading one-stop provider of custom championship rings, awards, and team packages, Champ Trove helps sports teams, clubs, and schools turn victories into lasting, high-quality memorabilia. We craft fully bespoke rings and team packages tailored to your vision, finished in just 15 days and shipped free. No rigid templates, no hidden fees, just a dedicated designer guiding you from concept to creation. Just go to champtrove.com. For every champion, forever. Champ Trove.
That sound, it happens every season. The base runner hesitates, a bad slide, a twisted ankle. The truth is, most kids are never actually taught how to slide safely. Slide MVP changes that. It's the portable sliding mat designed to teach proper feet-first technique so players build confidence before game day. No guesswork, no fear, just confidence when it counts. Train at home, train at practice, train the right way. Visit the SandlotRadioNetwork.com partners page for SlideMVP.com. Slide MVP, because one bad slide shouldn't change everything. You know, I don't say this lightly. I've been around the game a long time. There's an epidemic of arm injuries in youth athletes. Until now, nothing truly supported how the arm worked while throwing. Meet the Kinetic Arm, the first dynamic stabilizer supporting both shoulder and elbow in motion. Trusted by over 100,000 athletes. Want to protect your player? Click on SandlotRadioNetwork.com partners and order your Kinetic Arm today.
Hi, everybody. This is Rick Mundy, former Major League player, former All-Star, and now broadcaster with the Los Angeles Dodgers. You're tuned in exactly where you need to be. It's Sandlot, and it's baseball.
Talking baseball, the man and Bobby Fella, the Scooter, the Barber, and the Duke. They knew them all from Boston to Dubuque.
Especially Shohei, Mookie, and the Judge.
Welcome back to the Sandlot. It's where everybody plays. We're on Fox Sports 1590 KVTA. Also streamed live on KVTA.com. The Sandlot is presented by our trusted protector of youth athletes, the Kinetic Arm. Right now we have Dodgers World Series hero, Miggy, whose wife told him he was going to hit a home run going into Game 7. He hadn't played a whole lot. He had limited times, limited at-bats. But she was right. He got the chance, and he hit one of the biggest home runs in Dodger history. We got Migeul Rojas. Miguel, I know that growing up where you did, you had a family that gave you a huge amount of support. Your grandfather, your uncles, your brothers. They really helped guide you and give you an opportunity. The chance, Sandlot days for you. Who did you look up to, and who are the guys that inspired you to do more to become great at baseball?
Back in Venezuela, like you say, and my grandfather, since I was like really young, was my first coach, and he coached me until I signed my professional contract. So I gotta say that my love and passion for the game of baseball, I got it from my family, because all of them, they were playing baseball when I was growing up, and that's how I got the love for this game. Obviously, I started creating my path when I was like 6-7 years old. Started representing my state and represent the country a couple times, and that's when kind of like the eyes of the country and the scouts and all that started like to see my abilities to play. But at that time, I just remember I was just having fun and being a little kid, trying to pursue a dream. I wanted to be like Omar Vizquel, Martin Prado, Marco Escutaro. Those guys were kind of like my role models, and I'm happy to say that right now they are my friends other than just my idols, and it's pretty cool to be in this position.
I've had some of the best shortstop from Venezuela on the show before, including Omar Vizquel. And man, I got to tell you, the things that he told me he did as a kid to set himself apart from the other kids, to make himself that good, it was pretty amazing. How about you? Were you one of those guys that just constantly kept working at it no matter what?
Yeah, I mean, one of my things was like seeing those guys taking ground balls every day. When I got the opportunity to go to Caracas, to the CV stadium where the Leones and Tiburones play, that helped me a lot, because it makes me have something to go off, you know. seeing that guy taking ground balls, how easy he make it look in practice, and then the things that he could do in the game was special for us Venezuelan, especially on my generation, to watch them. But for me, it was like I could never take like as many ground balls as the other guy. I always want more, and that's why my grandfather and my uncle and my father they were there to take me to the field and take the extra time to give me more. And I feel like that's the reason why I'm a really good infielder, and that's why my defense is being always over my offense, because I always trying to be like a really good defensive player. I took ground balls in places where it's not even compared to this. There were rocks in the middle of the thing, and sometimes I have to kind of like take hops off the rocks to create good angles and good hands. And I feel like that's the reason why I have such a good hands and good instincts to play the game of baseball. And that wasn't even enough. When I got home, I started bouncing the ball against the wall, thinking that I was playing in a big league stadium, and those are the things that I did when I was younger, growing up, and that's the reason why I made it here, because my family have the confidence in me, and obviously the passion to give up on their dreams and start living up mine.
Was there a major league team in particular that you really liked or looked up to?
Yeah, the Cleveland Indians back in the day, when they have Vizquel and Baerga, and then Alomar came along. I thought that was the beautiful combination around second base, and I really like watching that team. I remember they went to the World Series a couple times. They could never win it, but those teams were really good. You know, they were based on really good pitching and defense, and I remember watching those teams growing up. That was my favorite team.
You got signed by Cincinnati, and the first place you went was Billings, Montana. How strange was that for you, coming from Venezuela, to spend that first summer in Billings?
Yeah, that was different. Definitely, I need to adjust to to people, to culture, to new modalities to live life. Especially when you're just a teenager. I think I was 18 years old when I had to go to Billings, Montana, really far away from my family, and I was never away from my family that much. And that's the reason why it was a little bit harder for me to kind of like adjust to the game itself, just because of the life outside of the game. But I think it helped me a lot, getting my own kind of personality, what I wanted to be in this game. I started learning, especially the culture, the language, knowing that this game, nothing is going to be in this game. So I didn't know if I was going to make it to the big leagues. But baseball was my only choice, you know, and I didn't know if I was going to make it to the big leagues and make some money, but I knew I could make a living off baseball. So that's why I made myself a commitment to learn everything that I can to be in baseball as long as I can. So it worked out for me as a player. It wasn't easy because of the first couple years were kind of tough in the minor leagues, but at the end of the day, I kept like moving on and keep growing in the game of baseball, and I'm proud of myself for not giving up, especially after the first couple years.
Your family, when you got called to the big leagues, what was that moment like for them? When you made that call home and you said, hey, I'm going to the big leagues?
Yeah, it was pretty special because, like I said, they gave up on everything in life because of my dreams, and kind of like to support me and to give me everything that I need to get to a moment, the first chance to play in the big leagues. But then definitely when I got the opportunity to call them, it was a really special and heartfelt moment. Not just for me, really, because they deserve as much as I did.
You got the big leagues with the Dodgers. You ended up 8 years with the Marlins. But then you come back. What was that like to finally come back to the Dodgers? And is that a good time to come to the Dodgers because they're about to win a bunch of World Series?
Yeah, coming back, it was meant to be for me. I felt like I did everything that I was supposed to do in the game up until that point to put myself in a good position to serve a trade like that. You know, when they called me, they actually gave me the option of not getting traded because they respected my time in Miami, my family, the money that I was making there. It wasn't going to be the same that I was going to make here just because of taxes related and all that. But I mean, the organization did an amazing job, kind of like explaining why they want me back, why they want me here, and why I was going to be helpful for this organization to win and to continue to get better. So it was a no-brainer. When I received the call and I got the chance to come back to LA and actually give myself a second being like playing in this organization for this fan base and going to every stadium and feel like you're playing at home, it's really special. So it was a conversation at home because my family have to stay back and I have 2 kids growing that they deserve to have their own life. But my wife has been so supportive with me and they stay back in Miami to continue to develop the kids. But at the end of the day, they can come here when it matters most, which is winning World Series and making special memories for them.
Not only have you won World Series, but you have made some baseball IQ plays in the World Series that made a huge difference. And the hardest pick I think I've ever seen was that backhand pick where you applied the tag when PK made the throw to you. That was a game changer right there. You don't pick that, you guys don't win. That was the toughest pick I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that happened in that World Series, and I'm just so grateful that I was part of it. That dog gave me the opportunity to put me in the game in Game 6, and obviously I couldn't get a hit or anything like that. But I felt like my responsibility at the moment wasn't to be a big hitter, a big slugger. It was for me to inject the energy to the rest of the guys. I feel like that's always something that I've been able to do. Provide that energy, provide that different look whenever I step on the field and I get the opportunity to play. And then obviously all the plays that I make that day, bare hand play in the 5th or 6th inning. I made a good play in the first or second inning, and then finishing the game on that play when Kike made a good read, catch a ball and threw the ball to me at second base. And for me, just to catch a ball and not extending that inning for them, it was huge because we get to live another day and play against them.
And then you had the big moment in the World Series. And let's face it, family's got a lot to do with this. And I understand that your wife might have talked you into hitting that home run because she said you were going to do it. And you didn't quite believe that you were going to do it. But the moment came and you were the guy that pulled it off. And man, what a moment.
Yeah, it was a great moment. And like you said, my wife has way more faith than I did in myself. That's always something that you need to have. You need to have that people in your corner that believe in you, that kind of carry you she kept telling me to stay positive, to stay in the moment and continue to work hard because my moment was going to come. And sure enough, it was in the bottom of the 9th inning with 1 out that I stepped on the plate, and I wasn't even thinking about hitting a home run. I just want to get on base. I just want to give my team an opportunity to get Shohei on the plate with a runner on base. I mean, I got a good pitch to hit after a long at bat, and I was able to put a swing on the ball. And I mean, rounding the bases. All I could think was what my wife told me throughout the whole postseason. Because if you look back at that, I didn't play one game in the series before that. I didn't play much in the World Series until this Game 6. So it's really hard to play after you've been sitting for a while.
What a moment, and what an experience you've had throughout your baseball life. You're a baseball lifer, family-grown baseball lifer. Miggy, I want to thank you so much for being a guest on the Sandlot.
Of course, thank you very much for having me, and it's always a pleasure.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks again to a true leader in the Dodger clubhouse, a man with a huge baseball IQ. Look for him to be managing in the major leagues one day. Migeul Rojas. Miggy, thanks so much. I'm your host, Tad Powers. We're on Fox Sports 1590 KVTA. The Sandlot, it's where everybody plays. The Sandlot is presented by the Kinetic Arm. Why wait to start protecting your player's arm? Go to SandlotRadioNetwork.com for partners and order your Kinetic Arm today. Don't go away. We have another Dodger World Series hero, left-handed stopper Alex Vesia, plus the son of former Dodger great, now a broadcaster for the Dodgers, Eric Karros. We have his son Kyle, now starting third baseman for the Colorado Rockies, right here on the Sandlot.
Drilled to left field and deep, and gone! No way! Migeul Rojas! Dave Roberts played his gut. The guy hadn't had a hit in a month. And in the 9th inning of Game 7, he's hit a tying home run.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If you know me, it's probably from a fantastic TV show called Dirty Jobs. If you don't worry about it. The important thing is I'm in the Sandlot with Tad. And if you think it's dirty in here, well, you're right.
Imagine this. Your kid throws out their arm. One bad pitch and suddenly it's surgery, months of pain, and watching from the sidelines. There's an epidemic of arm injuries in youth athletes, but it doesn't have to be that way. The Kinetic Arm is the first dynamic arm stabilizer, supporting the shoulder and elbow when they need it most. Trusted by thousands of athletes. Go to SandlotRadioNetwork.com, click Partners, Kinetic Arm, and protect your kid's arm today.
That sound. It happens every season. The base runner hesitates, a bad slide, a twisted ankle. The truth is, most kids are never actually taught how to slide safely. Slide MVP changes that. It's the portable sliding mat designed to teach proper feet-first technique so players build confidence before game day. No guesswork, no fear, just confidence when it counts. Train at home, train at practice, train the right way. Visit the SandlotRadioNetwork.com partners page for SlideMVP.com. Slide MVP, because one bad slide shouldn't change everything.
Whether you're in the batter's box or grinding through a 12-hour shift, your gear matters from the inside out. Introducing Toolshed Premier Compression Underwear. Toolshed is designed for the athlete and worker who demand comfort and durability. Moisture-wicking technology, aero cooling mesh, and a fit that stays put. No chafing, no riding up, just pure performance. Upgrade your base layer today at ToolshedUSA.com. Use code SandlotRadio10 for 10% off. Toolshed, made in America.
When you run a sports facility, tournament, camp, or recreation business, you need more than insurance. You need coverage built for the game. For over 35 years, Fairway Underwriters has specialized in protecting sports and recreation organizations nationwide, from baseball and softball facilities to camps, leagues, tournaments, golf courses, fitness centers, and special events. Because when the unexpected happens, experience matters. Fairway Underwriters, the name trusted for quality and innovation since 1989. Call 1-800-662-2141 or visit fairwayunderwriters.com today. Fairway Underwriters, protection built for sports.
You know, I don't say this lightly. I've been around the game a long time. There's an epidemic of arm injuries in youth athletes. Until now, nothing truly supported how the arm worked while throwing. Meet the Kinetic Arm, the first dynamic stabilizer supporting both shoulder and elbow in motion. Trusted by over 100,000 athletes. Want to protect your player? Click on SandlotRadioNetwork.com partners and order your Kinetic Arm today.
Hey everybody, this is Trevor Hoffman, a Hall of Famer and a San Diego Padre, and you're listening to The Sandlot.
Welcome back to The Sandlot. It's where everybody plays, right here on Fox Sports 1590 KVTA. Also streamed live at kvta.com. The Sandlot is presented by the Kinetic Arm. Right now, we have another very special guest, Dodgers stopper left-handed specialist, World Series hero Alex Vesia. After Alex, we have the current third baseman for the Rockies. He grew up watching his dad play first base at Dodger Stadium. We have Kyle Karros. Alex, every kid dreams of playing in the World Series, but being the closer that has the 3-2 count, bases loaded, 2 outs, we all dream of that, but you actually did it. Let's talk about your Sandlot days and who were the guys that you looked up and really admired, and why did you end up loving this game of baseball?
I mean, for myself, I always remember playing wiffle ball in the front yard with 3-4 of my buddies at my parents' house. So like the grass and how the like landscape was, it was shaped very identical to a baseball diamond. And if you hit it over our like little guest house, it was considered a home run. And I always remember, thinking, 3-2 World Series, 2 outs, bases are loaded, and trying to get the guy out, strike him out. It's actually funny that I've actually been in that situation. In 24 in that World Series, coming in with the bases loaded, and getting me out to getting that one pitch save. So yeah, man, that's definitely my Sandlot story. It's been a long road of ups and downs and whatnot, but hard work and dedication and adversity, it'll teach us some things.
What about the big league team and the players?
So my dad, growing up, was a diehard Yankees fan, which was hilarious. So I always looked up to guys like CC Sabathia and David Price. It's actually funny, in 21, I got to play with David Price, so that was a really cool experience for me. But yeah, that was definitely my team. And as I got older, that's kind of faded in a way. And not being on the Dodgers for 6 years, like I said, I believe blue.
And there's no better place to be than in Los Angeles with the Dodgers, because they put together something special here. And they're either going to be in a World Series or win a World Series every year, and it's kind of been that way ever since you've been here.
Yeah, 21. That was when I got traded over. That was the message, right? To be prepared for October, and I didn't really understand what that meant until actually going through it. And now, doing it for six years, I understand the long-term goals, and to just learn ups and downs of baseball. 162 games, man. I ain't gonna be perfect every single night, but I do know that as the season gets going, as we get deeper and deeper, that's where I usually catch my stride. So, this year so far has been really good. I feel like I'm throwing the ball well. I'm making the hitters uncomfortable out there, and I like punching tickets. So it's been fun.
I played in the minor leagues myself 9 years. I scouted 11 internationally.
Yep.
And I was always looking for a lefty that had the kind of mentality on the mound as you, that would just go after those hitters. And I swear, when I see you come into the game, man, I'm just like, this game's over.
That's the goal. I got 2 goals for a night. It's being available for Doc, making sure that I'm ready to go and he can use me. And, the second goal is putting up a 0, getting the guys back in the dugout. So our lineup can do what they do, hit homers and score some runs. So, it's been good so far. We got a good one tonight against the Rockies, and then we face the Phillies next. So, and then we're just getting going.
Alex, I want to thank you so much for being a guest on the Sandlot.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
We're at Dodger Stadium with a guy that watched his dad play first base here in Dodger Stadium for many years, and now he's here as a visiting player for the Colorado Rockies. Kyle, tell us about your Sandlot days and growing up watching your dad in this stadium.
No doubt. This is definitely a fun one for me. Super weird experience being back on this ballpark on the field. And I know I catch myself throughout the game looking at the seats that I grew up sitting in. So definitely a surreal moment. It's always cool coming here to play. But at the end of the day, I'm no longer a Dodger fan. We're looking to beat these guys this year.
You're up here at 23 years old. That's pretty young to be in the big leagues. You got a brother that's also a pretty good ball player playing pro ball too. So obviously growing up, you guys had some competitive battles in the Karros yard. Let's talk about some of those games you might have played with the bro and some other kids in the neighborhood.
No doubt. I mean, we were blessed to have a lot of athletes in our neighborhood. We got another one, Chase Migeul, who was my best friend growing up. He's in the big leagues with the White Sox. Petey Halpin was a Manhattan Beach guy. He's in the big leagues with the Guardians. And so many more tremendous athletes. So it wasn't even just baseball. I mean, it was any sort of pickup game we were playing was getting pretty competitive. I know during the Kings run, I think it was around 2013, we had a little hockey phase too. We were even getting into street hockey. So really anything was very competitive game.
When you finally got to the big leagues and you made the call to the old man who's been a big leaguer forever, what was that like for you and for him?
Yeah, that was surreal. I think me and my dad, it's definitely interesting growing up under father who played in the big leagues for as long as he did. It definitely comes with ups and downs. And so to give him that call, it definitely was emotional. Brought back a lot of memories, a lot of ups, a lot of downs, going through my baseball career with him. So that was a pretty cool moment to have with him.
What about growing up here and watching these guys play? Who are some of the players that you loved when you were a kid?
I mean, two that jump out, Matt Kemp, I thought he was awesome. He played in the game with some flair, with some energy. And it was always super cool. To love out and to me being a younger guy, like hanging around, just a little kid running around. He was always super cool and creepy and stuff. And then Justin Turner, I mean, he was hands down my favorite player. He was If the Dodgers third base, same thing. It's always super cool to be around, and we still talk to them today. This past game.
Regular guys, and you can see you being that guy too. You're just a regular guy, and that makes a big difference for fans.
No doubt. I mean, I think that's something that I really try to make a priority of. And honestly, it's tough at this level to remember that you're a person here first and then a baseball player second. You can get so caught up in the games. So many fans, so much media. Like you're always under the public eye. So you can lose sight of that for sure. But I try to do a good job to remind myself every day, I'm a person, I'm a son, I'm a brother. And really prioritize those things to take some emphasis off of baseball.
And your dad had a lot of home runs here, and that's some big shoes to fill. And I have fathers, and the one thing they want is for you to be better than they were.
Yeah, I think that's a very unique thing about a father-son relationship. I think that's the only man you want to outdo you in anything as a son. So, I'm just here doing my thing, playing my game. I would be happy to surpass so many of his records, but at the end of the day, I'm my own baseball player, and I just want to go out there every day and have fun.
Now you're here in LA where you grew up watching it. You went to Rockies, but now you're only in the Major League field as a baseball player for the Colorado Rockies, playing against the Dodgers. Your dad, your family's here watching.
I mean, we're all Rockies fans tonight. There's not a doubt. But they're kind of in my mind about they watch me, in my police. It's definitely a cool event having that vibe.
You played at UCLA, you got a brother that's in the minor leagues with the Dodgers. You need some time for that dude to be a big leaguer.
No doubt. I mean, I want to see that guy healthy, back on mound, and as soon as possible. Because I know what he's got. I know he's capable of it. It's just a matter of staying healthy and put his best step forward. And I think he's going to have a very successful career if he can figure that out.
He's a second-generation Major League Baseball player now. Kyle Karros, son of Eric Karros. Thanks so much for being a guest on the Sandlot Radio Show. Of course, thanks for having me.
Thanks again to two-time World Series hero for the Dodgers, left-handed pitcher Alex Vesia, and third baseman Kyle Karros. We're on Fox Sports 1590 KVTA, the Ventura Sports Talk Station. I'm your host, Tad Powers. The Sandlot, it's where everybody plays. The Sandlot is presented by the Kinetic Arm. Go to sandlotradionetwork.com partners page. Click on the Kinetic Arm and start protecting your player's future today. Next, we have a player with 5 tools, way above average for the typical major leaguer. We have Angels All-Star. He was a first-round pick. We have Joe Adell next on the Sandlot.
Hi, I'm Justin Robleski, and I listen to The Sandlot.
Zach Neto here from the Los Angeles Angels, former Campbell alum, and I listen to The Sandlot.
My name is Ethan Holiday. Play shortstop for the Stillwater High School baseball team. I am a couple months away from being hopefully selected in the Major League Baseball draft. I am now part of the Sandlot.
Hey, this is Mike Myers, former left-handed pitcher of the Major League Baseball, played 13 years. Everybody out there, listen to the Sandlot, have a great time, enjoy the summer, and keep on swinging for the fences.
Imagine this. Your kid throws out their arm. One bad pitch and suddenly it's surgery, months of pain, and watching from the sidelines. There's an epidemic of arm injuries in youth athletes, but it doesn't have to be that way. The Kinetic Arm is the first dynamic arm stabilizer, supporting the shoulder and elbow when they need it most. Trusted by thousands of athletes. Go to sandlotradionetwork.com, click Partners, Kinetic Arm, and protect your kid's arm today.
That sound. It happens every season. The base runner hesitates, a bad slide, a twisted ankle. The truth is, most kids are never actually taught how to slide safely. Slide MVP changes that. It's the portable sliding mat designed to teach proper feet-first technique so players build confidence before game day. No guesswork, no fear, just confidence when it counts. Train at home, train at practice, train the right way. Visit the SandlotRadioNetwork.com partners page for SlideMVP.com. Slide MVP, because one bad slide shouldn't change everything.
Champ Trove, where every championship becomes a treasure worth keeping. As a leading one-stop provider of custom championship rings, awards, and team packages, Champ Trove helps sports teams, clubs, and schools turn victories into lasting, high-quality memorabilia. We craft fully bespoke rings and team packages tailored to your vision, finished in just 15 days and shipped free. No rigid templates, no hidden fees, just a dedicated designer guiding you from concept to creation. Just go to champtrove.com. For every champion, forever. Champ Trove.
You know, I don't say this lightly. I've been around the game a long time. There's an epidemic of arm injuries in youth athletes. Until now, nothing truly supported how the arm worked while throwing. Meet the Kinetic Arm, the first dynamic stabilizer supporting both shoulder and elbow in motion. Trusted by over 100,000 athletes. Want to protect your player? Click on SandlotRadioNetwork.com partners and order your Kinetic Arm today. Running a business is hard enough. Growing one is even harder. That's where Insight Performance Group comes in. They help businesses streamline operations, improve marketing, strengthen sales systems, and create processes that drive growth. Instead of spending all of your time putting out fires, Insight helps you build a more efficient, scalable business. If you're ready to work smarter, grow faster, and get more out of your business, schedule a free consultation by going to SandlotRadioNetwork.com website partners page. Click on the logo for Insight Performance Group to begin growing your business today.
It was pretty much decided for me to play baseball when I was born.
The Sandlot's where it all starts, doesn't it?
I wasn't bigger than everybody. I just threw harder.
It doesn't take any talent to hustle.
If you don't pull for the Dodgers, there's a good chance you may not get into heaven.
Something happening here.
Welcome back to the Sandlot, right here on Fox Sports 1590 KVTA. I'm your host, Tad Powers. The Sandlot is presented by the most trusted protector of arms in the industry, the Kinetic Arm. Right now, we have Los Angeles Angels right fielder. He robbed 3 home runs in 1 game this season. We have Joe Adell. Beautiful day at Angel Stadium. We have All-Star Joe Adell. Joe, thanks so much for being a guest on the Sandlot.
Hey, what's going on? Glad to be here.
You're a guy that grew up in the South, Kentucky. Good baseball there in Louisville and Lexington, and University of Kentucky has great baseball. But let's go back to your Sandlot days and what made you love this game, and at what age did you start really turning it up to where you're going to be really good?
Yeah, I was when I was really young, we relocated. I was originally born in North Carolina, and we relocated to Kentucky, and I just turned 7 years old. It was my 7th birthday, and I'm an April baby, so spring was right there, so it was right in the middle of baseball season. So it's my dad's job with UPS. We were kind of moving around, and I got my first jersey and played on the played with the Marlins on a rec ball team, local, and just from that point on, just loved the game, and couldn't wait for April to come around, and my birthday was basically the start of a new season. So pretty excited about being able to do that.
Kentucky doesn't have a major league team, so who was the major league team that you looked up to, and what about players that you're trying to maybe be like one day?
For sure. I grew up a Reds fan. We were within 40 minutes from Cincy, and so it's funny. I was a Joey Votto fan growing up, and obviously when Brandon Phillips was there, just loved it. And I actually told my first spring training in 2018 in big league camp, I told Joey, I said, hey, by the way, I just want to let you know I'm from Louisville, and you're one of my favorite players. Growing up, I would come to Reds games and whatnot, and he was like, me? And I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? I was a kid, coming to games and wanting to be a major leaguer, so kind of full circle moment.
And Joey's from Canada, but man, he was a special guy, and he had a different approach to hitting, and he figured out a way of hitting that a lot of people could never do.
He did. He definitely had a very distinct way of going about his business. Definitely my game is a little bit different than his game, for sure, those that have seen me play, but he was somebody that I just enjoyed watching. And when you see a guy commit to a process and a way of going about their work and do it at the highest level, it's pretty cool.
What age did you feel, man, I got a chance at this thing, I'm really going to focus and turn it up?
It really was my sophomore year of high school. It wasn't like I was coming out of Little League thinking that I was going to be a major leaguer. It was, I loved the game and loved grinding for it, but I was a primary pitcher before I was a position player and a hitter. So definitely after my sophomore year, I really had a knack for hitting, and it became my strong suit, my superpower. And so really just kind of put everything together and put the pieces together to make it happen. And, I'm here now.
And out of high school, 10th overall pick, #1 draft. This is the minor leagues is tough though, dude. It wasn't easy, And you learned a lot about making daily adjustments because it's the first time you play every day.
Yeah, it's definitely different when you grow up. You're playing a couple games a week, and that's kind of all that's expected. And when you get into minor league baseball, you're playing every day. You're practicing every day. You're trying to manage your workload and really deal with the ups and downs. One week you're a great player, the next week things don't go your way. And I think through the minor leagues, that's what kind of prepares you to get to this level, is just dealing with the failure of it and know that this isn't a game where things are always going to go your way. You got to find a way to balance the ebbs and flows. So I think just as much as being able to see the talent and focus in on trying to get the most out of it, it's about kind of keeping that even level, even kill personality through the whole thing. That's what the best do.
Played a game in my front yard when I was a kid with his neighbor Billy Hurley and my little brother Quinn. And all we did was try to throw it perfectly over the fence so the other dude could try to rob it. And I think we did it 100 times a day, at least. In a Major League Baseball game, you did that 3 times. It's awesome feeling to do it once. Twice is unreal, but I'm starting to freak out when you do it 3 times in a game. Is that something you practice too, or just right place, right time on that day?
Yeah, weirdly enough, when I first got to the major leagues, I had an issue going back on the ball. Like, I struggled going back on the ball, and obviously now I've become one of the best at going back on the baseball. So I wouldn't really say it was only practicing kind of robbing home runs. I think more so than not, it's just that visual awareness of where you are on the field. And I felt like I've done a much better job of doing that. In a game like what you're talking about, the 3 home run robbery, I was so aware of where I was on the field. I knew how far away the fence was. Really just getting to the wall before the ball gets there is really 80% of it. The rest is just, taking a chance. So in that game, I was definitely focused on how fast I could get to the wall first, and then be able to kind of gauge it from there. So just a crazy night. I've been asked to explain how I did it. I don't know. Just kind of something was going through me. I told Torrey Hunter, he was at my locker before the game. I was like, maybe it was he sat by my locker for 30 minutes. He gave me a little bit of that gold patch he's got on his wrist, maybe. But yeah, just crazy moment.
He was as good as anybody at it. So, but it's an athletic moment is what happens. And, being the type of athlete you are, you could go back there, find the fence, jump, time it, rob that home run 3 times a game. I don't know. How many runs did that save?
You know what? To be honest with you, I've kind of heard mixed reviews on how many runs saved just because of catch probability. So, catch probability is like a big thing. So I think 2 of the balls I caught, the catch probability was like 60% or something, which was kind of blew me away. And I was like, well, it's over the wall. I don't know how it could be 60%, but I don't know what the numbers were. But really just I was more focused on the win, just getting it done, and whatever we have to do to try to, keep the runs under control. Divisional team, 1-0 ball game, so all that type of stuff.
He's a 5-tool guy. I scouted for a long time, and I know because there's certain things we look at, and not everybody can run, throw, field, hit, and power hit, but Joe Adell can. Joe, I want to thank you so much for being a guest on the Sandlot.
Hey, I'm glad I could be here. This is awesome. Thank you.
There's a drive to right. Adell is back. He's at the wall. He leaps up. He got another one. Joe Adell, what a night. That is unbelievable. Joe Adell, listen to the crowd. Here's Crawford with a fly ball to right toward the corner. It's Joe Adell again near the foul pole. Leaping up. Did he catch it again? He fell into the crowd, so it's a home run. They called him out. He did it again.
Thanks for listening to just the 6th Sandlot Radio Network program of the 2026 baseball season. We will continue to bring you unique childhood stories from the biggest names in baseball, including current, former, and future major leaguers, players, coaches, scouts, front office personnel, and even media as they reflect on their road to the big leagues. You can catch replays of this year's and past season's episodes of the Sandlot Radio Network on the Sandlot Radio Show SoundCloud page. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook for video content with the major league players. We also have links to YouTube, Spotify, and SiriusXM MLB Network. Please explore the SandlotRadioNetwork.com website to check out reels and images from our long history of covering everything from the Sandlot to the big leagues. If you're interested in advertising your business on the Sandlot Radio Show, give us a call at 303-350-0655 or send us a message through the website, sandlotradionetwork.com. I want to thank all of our guests this week's show. We had 2 Dodger World Series heroes. We had left-handed pitcher Alex Vesia and Game 7 hero Migeul Rojas, plus the son of a former Dodger great who's now heard every night on Dodger radio, Eric Karros. We had his son, a third baseman in the major leagues for the Rockies. He played at UCLA and watched his dad at Dodger Stadium. We had Kyle Karros, and a player that scouts dream of that has 5 way above average major league tools, right fielder for the Angels, Joe Adell. Be sure to tune in every Saturday at 8 a.m. right here on Fox Sports 1590 KVTA. Also streamed live on KVTA.com. The Sandlot has been presented by the most trusted leader for athletic arm protection, the Kinetic Arm. To purchase and start protecting your athlete today, go to SandlotRadioNetwork.com. Click on the Kinetic Arm on the partners page. The Sandlot is also sponsored by Slide MVP, Champ Trove, Tool Shed, South Bay Credit Union, Fairway Underwriters, Max Graphics LA, Insight Performance Group, and Pro Slide. The Sandlot, it's where everybody plays. It's a place of our own. It's our field. It's our neighborhood. It's our team. It's our home. I'm your host, Tad Powers.
Damn it! Who typed a question mark on the teleprompter? For the last time, anything you put on that prompter, Burgundy will read.
Hey, it's former Major League Baseball player Matt Holliday, and I'm actually known as Jackson Holliday's dad these days. My son was the number 1 overall pick, and I got another one on the way. And we still listen to Sandlot Radio. Proud to be part of the Sandlot Radio family.
This is National League All-Star Justin Upton.
Hi, this is Shane Victorino.
Hi, this is Albert Pujols.
Hi, this is David Wright.
Derek Jeter, New York Yankees, and you're listening to The Sandlot.
Is this heaven?
It's Iowa. Is there a heaven?
Oh, yeah. It's the place dreams come true.
Hey, Dad? You want to have a catch?
I'd like that.
Imagine this. Your kid throws out their arm. One bad pitch and suddenly it's surgery, months of pain, and watching from the sidelines. There's an epidemic of arm injuries in youth athletes, but it doesn't have to be that way. The Kinetic Arm is the first dynamic arm stabilizer, supporting the shoulder and elbow when they need it most. Trusted by thousands of athletes. Go to SandlotRadioNetwork.com, click Partners, Kinetic Arm, and protect your kid's arm today.
Looking to stand out? At Max Graphics LA, they bring your ideas to life. From custom screen printing and high-quality embroidery to eye-catching signs and banners, they do it all. Outfit your team, promote your business, or create one-of-a-kind personal gear. Whether it's company uniforms, sports league fan swag, or custom designs for any occasion, we've got you covered. Fast, reliable, and made just the way you want it. Call 310-350-3394 or visit maxgraphicsla.com today. Max Graphics LA, where your brand gets noticed.
With so many banking options out there, why choose South Bay Credit Union? As a nonprofit credit union, they're here to serve you, not shareholders. That means they're able to provide better rates, fewer fees, and more valuable benefits to empower their members to live better and do better. You want to master your money? South Bay Credit Union puts you in control of your money with everyday banking solutions. From checking accounts to home mortgages, credit cards to auto loans, their members have access to the tools they need to achieve their financial goals now and in the future.
When you run a sports facility, tournament, camp, or recreation business, you need more than insurance. You need coverage built for the game. For over 35 years, Fairway Underwriters has specialized in protecting sports and recreation organizations nationwide, from baseball and softball facilities to camps, leagues, tournaments, golf courses, fitness centers, and special events. Because when the unexpected happens, experience matters. Fairway Underwriters, the name trusted for quality and innovation since 1989. Call 1-800-662-2141 or visit fairwayunderwriters.com today. Fairway Underwriters, protection built for sports.
The difference between safe and out is inches. And the difference between hesitation and going all out? Confidence. But confidence disappears fast when you're worried about cuts and scrapes. Introducing Pro Slide. Padded compression sleeves for legs and arms, protecting knees, shins, and elbows so you can play all out. Stay in the game with Pro Slide. Get yours today by visiting the SandlotRadioNetwork.com website. Visit Partners, then Pro Slide. Pro Slide Sports. Play hard. Stay protected. You know, I don't say this lightly. I've been around the game a long time. There's an epidemic of arm injuries in youth athletes. Until now, nothing truly supported how the arm worked while throwing. Meet the Kinetic Arm, the first dynamic stabilizer supporting both shoulder and elbow in motion. Trusted by over 100,000 athletes. Want to protect your player? Click on SandlotRadioNetwork.com, Partners, and order your Kinetic Arm today.